everybody. My name is Crystal, and I am going to begin a series with the topic focused on twin flames. And I really think I felt led to do this. I am a twin flame, and for quite some time now, as a spiritual guide, I offer um, support on twin flame community forums because I know that there is a lot of information out there and it can be incredibly overwhelming, particularly as you're um, first experiencing your awakening, which happens when you meet your twin. Okay, so I felt led today, just based upon the incredible amount of information that's out there, and it's just some of it just really is not helpful. Okay, and it can get you off track in ways that are just so painful, um, that I think this first discussion is going to be about um, really the energy dynamics and a big T truth about what twin flames are here to do. Okay, all right. So I'm going to bring this whiteboard over um, to kind of give you a visual. I'm a visual learner, okay? And so here's what I'm going to do. I want to just kind of describe what twin flames are, not in the standard way that we can just kind of look up and see for ourselves online, okay? But truly, um, I'm going to give you kind of an explanation, an overview of what I provide for people when I do healings. So I'm a medical intuitive healer, and I also have a telepathic connection to energy. And so I do a variety of different types of guidance for folks. Um, because my sole purpose here is as a twin flame. Um, I just think it's also important to support other twins. It's near and dear to my heart. So this information I share with others before I provide healings for them because it is what I call the big T truth. Um, and it is something that you will just inherently, you will feel at the level of your body, you will understand. Oftentimes when I'm doing healings, and this is really important, okay? When I'm doing healings with people, I tell them our bodies already understand energy at a molecular and cellular level, okay? It's our minds that need to catch up. And so much of the twin flame work is about the mind. People just are so focused on soul, soul, soul. They don't think about their spirit. They're different. Our souls and our spirits are different. Okay? So I'm going to explain a little bit of that, okay? All right. So, I'm not the greatest artist ever. I'm going to scooch this back a little bit so we have a little bit more space here, and I'm hoping you'll be able to see it, okay? So, here's a human being, um, my stick figure human being, okay? We're just going to start there for right now. I might go a little bit into, um, no, I think I will. I think I will. Okay, so we have a biological system, which is our central nervous system, okay? And then we have an energy system that is sacred, and that is our chakra system, okay? And what you'll notice is that we have nerve centers in different parts of our body, okay? These nerves have neurons, and those neurons are cells that learn, okay? So our brains have neurons. You got the synapses, and your brain is forming connections based upon how you think, okay? So are these different nerve centers your heart, okay? Your solar plexus, your gut, your root chakra is all your lower nerves learning, okay? Your thyroid gland, your throat chakra, nerves, okay? So they correspond, right? So we've got, you know, uh, here's your chakras, okay? And each of them have nerve centers, and they, hopefully you can see that. Someday I'll up my game and, and get a better way to demonstrate to you. But for now, it's more important that you get the information than I be all fancy. Okay. All right. So anyway, these nerve nerve centers correspond to your chakra system, okay? Your soul, this is where we're going to move to the next piece. We have an oversoul. Oversoul. Okay? This oversoul is a being that has ascended wherever they're from, has ascended um, to a level of conscious awareness that allows them to incarnate on this planet. And they make a decision to incarnate on this planet. They will come and kind of see who your parents are sometimes to see what's going to fit the purpose that they have. And it's a relatively general purpose. I mean, they don't run the show. They know that once they incarnate into your body through your heartbeat, when it first beats in the womb, uh, free will, free will of your parents, free will of everything. And that's why some people say our oversouls are brave to incarnate here because this is a free, we're learning here through free will. And on this planet, what we're learning, we're remembering who we truly are. And it is really replicating the journey of the creator who is incarnating, is flowing consciousness through density levels. We can do that conversation some other time, but that there's divine consciousness flowing through every density level on this planet, understanding itself through the soil and the minerals and the elements, and providing stability for creation on our planet, and then the plants and animals. And we're at third density human beings. And so, as in third density, we are trusted with the conscious awareness on this planet. And that's called the collective consciousness. Okay. So hopefully that's making sense to you. I bet you it is. Um, so many twins. Boy, we study, don't we? Okay. So our oversoul, here's this other part, our mind. Here's our mind, and it's an electromagnetic field, okay? And it's not in this dimension. Okay, now hopefully many of you have heard this before. I know it sounds like whatever to those of you that haven't heard it, but it is so very true. Okay, our brains are receivers. Our mind is in another dimension. And so I'm just going to kind of do this. All right. And then we also have our subconscious mind. That is also in the collective consciousness. That is all the minds in another dimension that pull together around various topics and can be available to people who sit in the receptive mode when they're inventing, even during art sometimes. Okay, you are pulling inspiration through you and making the collective consciousness more beautiful by what you create. So truly, it's so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. Okay, right now, um, do I want to get into that just yet? I don't think I do. Okay, I'm going to wait just a moment here. What our minds do. So our brain, here's our brain. Okay, actually, I'm going to draw this out. So our eyes, here's your eyeball. Okay, and then you have these, here's the back, where your occipital lobes are. There's a whole lot going on in here in terms of like, when we see things, it's like we see things upside down and then it inverts it based upon our perception. Okay, our perception is key here. All right, so this is how the science and biology is spiritual. And so when I do healings with people as a medical intuitive, it's really important that they understand that. Okay, so you've got optic nerves. Okay, and then here's your brain. Here's your brain, and your optic nerves are connecting to your brain, forming your perception of reality. Perception of reality. This is your mind in real time is interacting with your optic nerves. And that is why people can have biases. So I can see something, and based upon my subconscious, which is the architecture of how you view things, including yourself in this world, from when you're little, Okay. This architecture organizes how you understand yourself in your reality and, of course, others in your reality. So you will see something, and before you even know what's up, you will think things. And then you work through your thoughts. And you go, no, I think it's probably this. Okay. Your mind is not in time, it's real time interaction here. And so when I work with people's subconscious architecture through energy work and so forth, we're getting rid of this old architecture. We want to get rid of this junk here. So many people have learned about who they are in such dysfunctional ways because it's a time of shifting on our planet. Okay? So when we get rid of this stuff, it's the difference between somebody going, "Hey, Crystal, what's going on?" And if I have got wounds because of how I was brought up that I have not addressed yet, and it's hanging around in my energy field, so I'm advertising stuff out of my heart, my magnetic field, that's already something right there. Then the people that come to me, even if they're not, they're coming from a good place. If they're like, "Hey, Crystal, what's going on?" And I'm like, people are so mean. I mean, I never get treated fairly. At work, when I go do this is happening. My dog won't even listen to me. You know, when they ask me that, I'll be thinking, what did they mean by that? Why did they say it like that? When in fact, they weren't saying it anyway. They were just saying, how's it going? But I'm hearing, how's it going? Or like whatever I'm hearing, okay? I'm coming from a wounded place. These wounds, trust and believe. I don't want you to think being a twin means you're wounded all the time and that you're this project that has to heal every single day. That is not what's going on here. It is, in my opinion, very damaging, particularly to divine feminine, because divine feminine is wakes up first because we are shifting away from toxic masculinity on our planet in the collective consciousness right now to ascend to fourth density. Okay, so divine feminine, whether you're a man or a woman, you are sensitive to the situation first. Okay, your awakening happens first. That awakening is the beginning. It is not, I'm awakened now. Awakening means the energy is instantly activated when you meet your twin often. It did with me. Believe you me. It was like twing. And I had all of these gifts at once and I didn't know what to do. Okay. Now, that activation, when you are not lined up and you don't have a guide, you don't have somebody with you that's providing spiritual guidance of some kind, or you have not reached out to your soul guide, please do. You have a soul guide who is part of your soul family. Your oversoul and your soul guide know each other. And that soul guide, when you were being born, when you were conceived, said, I want to be there with this person. And they love you unconditionally. Okay, you need to have a soul guide as a twin flame. Anybody does. But as a twin, please reach out to your soul guide and just say, you know what? I'm ready. I'm ready for your guidance. You don't need to be getting online and looking for guidance everywhere. And that includes me. If this isn't resonating with you, don't listen to me. It's okay. If it doesn't feel good to you, you're not in a vibration to receive what I'm saying. I doubt it because I think that if you're here, you are. Okay. I think you're ready for this kind of stuff. Okay. I sure wish I had it. Okay. So this is kind of how this works. Okay. Your perception, this eyeball is really big. Anyway, your perception uh, uh, is different than other people's perception. Okay. But we come to agreements about what that perception is to interact with one another. When you think about it, now here's the other part. These density levels, okay? We're in third density as human beings, but when we make the choice of moving from service to self, which is third density, we're shifting to fourth density on the planet to service to others. That's the true twin flame calling anyway. Okay? If you find yourself in forums where it's like, girl, get yours, and oh, he's so stupid, I can't believe he's doing that, and what about his karmic, and all these labels for other human beings, you all. I mean, that is not service to others. And I don't mean servitude to others, I mean service to others. You are being called here. It's a divine purpose, it's a spiritual purpose, okay? It doesn't make you chosen or better than anybody else. It doesn't make you any, that's ego. Now, I'm not trying to say anything about folks that want to believe in there's like some sort of chosen one situation out there. Personally, um, I would just want to be careful with language like that because there's not a single one of us that has been incarnated on this planet that doesn't have a really wonderful reason to be here. Some people just aren't here to ascend. Okay, you are. That's the twin flame journey. It's not awakening. That's the gifts. Then the ego death, and that is the old architecture that makes you feel like somebody needs to know I'm important because nobody treated me like I was a priority when I was younger. Um, Somebody needs to respect me. My dad did not respect me. My mom did not respect me. When you're looking outward for something that needs to be worked through on your own, that's called the ego death. And ego is not mean you're arrogant. Ego is whatever coping mechanism or tool you picked up when you were young to love somebody that was supposed to be caring for you. And we got to do that. You've got to make that work somehow. And you don't realize it because you just don't realize it when you're little. And those tools are little things that you have done or learned to compromise to be able to love that person. And sometimes people just abandon themselves, okay, in order to make this other person okay. And then they grow up abandoning themselves. If you're doing that and you're a twin, you're going to get that. You're going to get that from that person because you are going to love that person so much. And energetically speaking, they know it. And there's nothing they can do about it. Trust me, my twin, we were very good friends. And there's a couple times I texted him and we were friends and professional too. And there's a couple times I texted him and I was just thinking, you know, and he wouldn't get back with me. And I'm like, that's just the weirdest freaking thing ever. And I found out later, he just couldn't do it. He wasn't trying to be mean. He wasn't trying to do anything. There's an energy there. And if you had somebody that's getting in touch with you and you feel like they want something and you don't know what it is, that's what it is. And you may be like, I don't, I don't, I don't know what's going on with this, but I don't like it. They can't help it. They're not being mean any more than if they start doing it when you have healed and they are coming and they're like, oh, whatever they're doing, you're not trying to be mean either. You might be like, gosh, I just need some space. I don't know what's going on. So truly, we need to lose as twins this language of the karmic. Karmic? It's a human being that's maybe in love with your twin, and your twin may have had some things to work out. It's just whoever it was before you. Wish them peace. Think about how that would feel. Golly, it's not easy, I'm sure. Okay? So we got to be, it dehumanizes people. You're a twin. You're here to ascend. That is not language you want to be used. You don't want to dehumanize people who might really suffer because they lose somebody they love and they may start doing things because they're wounded. Okay? So I'm just trying to free you from language that'll keep you from ascending. And if you don't ascend, that's the twin flame journey. Like I said, this is it. Okay? It's not different from other human beings' ascension process of letting go, except for you've got another human being that shares the same core frequency as you because your oversoul is the same oversoul incarnated into another human being. They do not have your soul. You do not have their soul. It's the same oversoul with the same intention, but the two people have free will. Okay? Each of you has free will to heal, to take the ascension journey, to awaken, all of that, all of it. All right. So when you decide to ascend, what you're beginning, you're letting go of this junk here. What happens is this mind that is circulating back in your perception, The junk is gone. You're healed. When I do this work with people, their spirits come out of their eyes because I can see in people's eyes, I can see either the deepest lo- longing from their soul coming through their eyes. And by the end, your spirit is your consciousness, your conscious self awareness, how you view yourself. And when I see their eyes, their spirit starts to shine through their eyes, and they're like, oh, that's it. And I'm like, let's just stop right there. There you are. There you are. Your spirit, when you die, your spirit will leave and go do other things as your consciousness, and your soul will incarnate somewhere else. Not the same thing. Totally different. Totally different. Okay. So, super important to know too, because your twin flame has a spirit, and they're on a spiritual journey, and that spiritual journey is ascension. Okay. It almost feels like the soul journey is the ego death on our planet because of how things are right now. Okay. It's not really the soul's journey. It just is right now. Okay. So this all gets healed. And what happens is what's happening here, if you think about what your brain is doing, it's connected to your spinal cord, your spinal column. And it is basically in your autonomic system, the things that you don't think about, like your heart beating, breathing, health, hormones, everything. That's coming through your brain stem, going into your spinal cord. And if it's coming from a place where you don't believe you're a good person, your whole body feels sick. You don't feel good. Okay? Now, what's important here is up here. So your oversoul is piece of your oversoul is focused in through your perspective and incarnating through your heart chakra, your heartbeat. Okay? Both of these things. So your heart and your mind need to be lined up. I really want you to take some time and think about this healed mind without all the junk here. Okay, when this is healed, this is your higher mind. Your higher mind is your higher self. So when people say, I've connected with my higher self, that's saying I'm ready to step into ascension. Your higher self is the best version of who you are. And you could be that any old day. It's not this, you don't need a telepathic connection to your higher self. Okay. That's not your soul guide. That is your recognition of what's really going on. And you will feel it. You'll just be like, I don't know why, but I'm just going to sort of stop doing this thing I've been doing. It doesn't feel good. I think I'm going to start doing something different here. That's your higher self. When you do that, there's healing. Okay? All right. I think I'm going to stop there. I may complement this with tarot at some point. I'm not sure. If I do, I'll just add an addendum to this. Otherwise, I really want you to think about how beautiful you are as a person. Okay, if you haven't heard it in a while, you're not broken. Okay, no one is. That's a story. Um, just take this information and rest with it for a little while, and meditate. That's when you can release your resistant thought and allow your soul to heal the cells in your body. Okay. Until then, really take good care. Bye bye.